top of them.
Yeah. Hi guys. Okay, so today we are talking about the spin and how to keep energy inside of the spin. Again, we're at our new time, which is Thursdays at noon instead of the Tuesday at 7:30 time. So we're hoping that you will be able to join us on your lunch break and then be able to go and practice some things with your horses either after we finish here on the live or maybe through the weekend. So the energy in the spin is a thing that we talk about a lot, and I think everybody struggles with a little bit from time to time. If you have questions about the spin as we go, then you are welcome to leave those in the comments, and we'll try to get to those while we're live. If you're watching the replay, then we'll try to get to those afterwards. So you can still leave those questions there, and we'll circle back to those. Okay, so to start out, when people are wanting to have more energy in the spin, there's kind of a few different scenarios or a few different kind of places where people are at with their spin. And do you want to just break that down a little bit, like what that looks like? Because not everybody is in the same boat as far as needing to add energy. Some people are at the very beginning of learning how to spin. Some people's horses are. Can you speak to that just a little bit, what it looks like for somebody who, maybe a couple different scenarios for people who are looking for help with their adding energy to the spin?
I think in the beginning part, like if somebody just starting their horses out, they have them walk, jog, lope them, and they're starting to want them to pivot around. There's the beginner part where they have no motion yet. They haven't pushed shoulders around yet. They don't know how to push the rib. They just don't know how to make the horse move his feet. In the middle scenario, we have some people that tried to make their own show horses, and they got them pivoting, but they're just at a block where they just have no more. They can't get any faster. They can't get any softer. They can't get any prettier. They have those things kind of their chin stuck out. They're not moving their back ends properly. Mostly it's their chin stuck out and their spine is just straight. And then in the advanced stage of it is the people that have more broke horses, and they're just trying to figure out how to maintain a better startup, maintain a better cadence, keep the horses fresh for when they do show. And I think they're three completely separate needs for all of those people. And the same when we ride on a daily basis. Our 2-year-olds this time of year are starting to just learn how to step around. Compared to show horses, we're getting ready to go show in another 2 weeks. So it's just a little different for all of them. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I see where people have, what a lot of people do if they're working with their own horses is they're teaching the horse the footwork of a turn on the haunches, and then they're trying to get the spin by just, kicking harder or trying to add speed. They kind of think, well, now that my horse has the footwork, that I can just add the speed. And I don't think that that's necessarily untrue. It's just that having a few different strategies for how to add that speed, add that momentum, and add the desire to spin, that's kind of the part that people need to shift towards. And that's actually where there is a lot of similarity in the other scenarios that we talked about, where like the exercises, if you're kind of set up with a few exercises that to do, the exercises are actually the same for a horse that hasn't done, that hasn't learned how to have that momentum in the spin, as it is for some of the older, more broke horses that do know how to do it, and we're just working at keeping them fresh. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So having a few different exercises. And then I think the ticket for any of them, for a horse that's really green, a horse that's kind of, medium broke, a horse that's very, very broke, the ticket is creating the environment, creating the exercises where the horse wants to spin, like creating that desire to spin. So keeping the energy or keeping the desire to spin, what are your go-tos?
I think my biggest thing when we go to spin and the horse has just no guts to him anymore, it all falls back to the person has always left their spur in there and just left that spur, so the horse hates it. There's no desire for that horse to say, well, if I give you energy and I give you this, you'll treat me real good. So the first thing I always do is tell everybody, take your leg off of them a little bit. Use it when you need it. Use it when you want to. And you have to break it down to, please go. Say, so I kiss to them. I've already told them which direction to go. I say, please go. I kiss to them. And if they speed up, I don't spur them at all. And it doesn't have to be a big speed up. It just has to be a little bit of try. And if they don't, then I will. I'll bring my rein over, pull that rein a little bit, and then kick on them. But you can't leave that spur on. And if them horses are really lazy to that idea, then I either take them out into a circle and power jog them really hard in like a 10-foot circle. Or my favorite is I go side pass them a lot. Anything where they have to move their legs and the spin becomes the reward, not my cue is, just like a person. If I said you were going to go to work and I put a spur in your rib cage every time, after a couple times, they're not going to play that game. And the biggest thing for me is if I kiss and I say get going, they have to go. It can't be a struggle for me. It can't be, they're giving me no effort. Even if it's not the right effort, maybe on them babies, I kiss and they move funny, they do whatever. As long as they're giving me some kind of effort, they'll come into the game. They'll turn into turnaround horses.
Yeah, and I think that response, like when you said when you kiss they have to go, that has to be black or white. That has to be all the time. Like from the time that you are in the general vicinity of your horse, if you have a verbal command that means something to that horse, if you do it, they better do it. You better be prepared to follow it up. So that starts from, the time that you're around your horse in the cross ties, when you lead him out, when you get him on, when you ask him to go jog. If you're asking your horse to go jog and you have to kiss 4 or 5 times and, use a bunch of leg just to get them into the jog, it's not going to work in the spin, right? Because the spin's harder than the jog is.
The other one that a lot of people get stuck in is they forget to move when they're spinning.
Yeah.
When a person very first starts to lope, they freeze up and they tense up and everybody says, well, the horse hasn't moved off yet. It's the same on the turnaround. Your hips have to keep a motion. If I want them to speed up and I create more motion with my hips, that creates that energy before I get down to, hey, I'm going to kick you up here a little bit. Stay loose, stay moving. If I trot, I'm going back and forth or front to back. Move that to the side and keep your hips moving so that they don't get locked in. As soon as you've braced up with your hips, they're going to seize up a little bit in there too.
Yeah, and that's a hard one to do, and I think that's a hard one for people to understand. But if you think about it, like the motion that the horse is making with their front feet, like if you want the equivalent to like a jog energy or a jog rhythm, you have to still be moving your seat in that rhythm. You still have to be light. It's the same thing with any, anything that we're asking the horse to do. We can't sit really heavy and be kind of burdening our horses' backs and making it uncomfortable for them to move and then still expect them to want to move. We have to be light. So move the hip, be kind of active with the body where we're making our body feel lighter than making our body feel heavier. If we want the horse to slow down, we want the horse to stop, then, we can get heavier. But if we want the horse to have motion, then we have to be lighter. and mastering the art of maintaining the rhythm and being light with your body when you're not actually moving forward is kind of a tricky concept, but something that is really powerful and can really help you a lot with energy in the spin.
I've always said that whatever your hips do, the horse does. If I start trotting with my hips, they'll trot and lope, obviously. And so when I want them to go to the side, you know, it's like stepping to the side. You take your inside foot forward, so you take your inside hip, move that to the side, then you're out, and you just step to the side. Mm-hmm. It has to mirror what your hips do.
Absolutely. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some things to think about in your turns. Momentum members that are watching, you guys are actually getting the trot in the 10-foot circle exercise that Jesse was just talking about. We're actually going to add that to momentum in the next few weeks. And you already have the side pass into the spin, side pass in and out, side pass on the square exercises that you can utilize. If anybody's watching and you are wanting to get some more help in your spin, then you can reach out to me and I'll get you the information about Momentum, which is our online coaching program where we're not just standing here in front of the camera talking about it, we're actually riding horses and showing you how to do it. So if there aren't any questions here, it doesn't look like there are any questions, just a few people hoping to improve their spins, then we will sign off and we'll catch you guys soon. If you are watching this live this weekend, we do have another reining clinic. You are more than welcome to come and audit. Participant spots are full, but you're welcome to come and audit and ask questions. And when we do partial patterns, you're welcome to come and sit out in the ring from the judge's perspective and kind of be a part of that whole thing. We would love to see you. Anything else that you want to find?
Sure, make them turn around.
And we'll, yeah, the horses will be turning around. And if there's anything else that you want to find, if you're looking for tack, all of our tack can be found at reiningtackcanada.com. Custom saddle information can be found at bobsaddlescanada.com. And our regular website is just hazelfellperformancehorses.com. You can find all of our info there, or you can reach out to us wherever you are watching this. Okay, thanks for being here, guys. Good luck with your spins.
Have a good day.